Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Now, some broadcasters look up to you. Who are the broadcasters that you look up to?
Oh, wow. One gentleman comes to my mind, and you can guess who I'm talking about. You know, my chairman, Dr. John Momo, is my role model, and I knew him way back. He's always been an inspiration. Here's a gentleman who would always be there to correct you. In fact, every day we have our post-mortem, and things are torn down and rebuilt. You know, you understand that during post-mortems, you know, you're critiqued, and it's always very constructive. That's one. Another person I have always admired, Dan Rada, if you know him. I've also liked quite a number of local broadcasters. You know, some of them are no longer practicing, but I always strive to identify new broadcasters. Many of them not in this climb, but Dr. John Momo remains my inspiration, and I admire him.
So, what specifically, got you interested in broadcasting?
I liked my old man was a public speaker. He was a reverend gentleman, and I admired the way he addressed people. You know, I admired the hard work. Before he ever came out to preach or to the pulpit, he would write all his speeches. You know, he would go through them over and over again for guidance. You know, as a public speaker, I'm talking about my old man. I admired the way he would, hold people attention. You know, people looked up to him. And so I thought I would become a priest, so I can as well, speak to people, have that confidence and charisma. Sometime in the early 80s, we were living at Aba, and I had one gentleman, Obio Koli, if you know him. He was a newscaster. Right, but he was a newscaster then at NTA Channel 6. I hope I'm right. And some people say he looks like me or I look like him, but that I like the way he presented his news. I got interested, right? And I would read a lot of newspapers and I would watch TV. I liked the way journalists or broadcasters came across people. So that was why I thought I should be interested in broadcasting. And so early in the day, I decided to take up that profession. And Obio Kole and the crew, including Christian Essien Iboku of blessed memory, would come to my father's house to act a drama, Try Me, that was it. So I got influenced by their way of life, and then the confidence and the fact that they could speak English. That childish exuberance in me. Right. Yeah. So I got interested. I got interested, and I never looked back. So after school, I had the opportunity to work somewhere in Owerri at that time. I think it was Radio Nigeria, and so that was where I started on radio actually, before I moved over to television. Thanks to Dr. John Momo, who faith brought us together, and then I think he took liking, to me, and then and helped me to take me through this path. So, and I've never regretted.
Now you've been into this, for so many years. What would you say has kept you going? Why are you still interested in the profession?
Passion, really. Because broadcasting or journalism is a vocation, it's a calling. You must have that passion. If you are looking for bread and butter, there's nothing wrong in doing that. You not find it, the first thing to do. But bread and butter would always come, particularly if you do your job well, and you have your integrity. Chances are that you would succeed, and then of course you have a good life. You enjoy good life, because really at some point in this profession I wanted to go the other way and find out how life was on the other side, and that was why at some point I left to work for the British American tobaccos of this world, Guinness and all of that. So at that point, I became a hunter that was hunted. Being in charge of the corporate communications, that's my first love. So I understood. I understood their nuances. I understood the importance of responding to journalists, granting access, giving them information they would use, and all of that. And even when I worked in the public sector in my dear state, Rivers State, it also provided me the opportunity to interact with sure that you won't make mistakes. So you're able to do your work passionately,